Back when you were coming up?
Yes.
Let me do some research, but from what I've studied and what I'm learning, green bell peppers are right, and if you let them sit longer, they'll turn colors, and they'll turn a yellow. I think yellow's first, an orange, and a red. But some people, when they see them green, they think they're ready to pick, but they need to be on there longer.
Now, when we would pick them, they would have a yellow color to them, but they were still basically green.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you would have let them stay longer, they would have been yellow. If they had a yellow color to them, they would have eventually turned yellow.
Okay, we won't go.
Okay, no.
Do some more research.
I'll do research and you do research, and I'll find out more about that. But from everything that I've studied,
before it was time. This was our yard.
I gotcha. Yes.
Big yard.
Yes. Now, when you bought the seeds, were they called green bell peppers?
Yes.
Okay. Because they'll tell you, even in culinary schools, green bell peppers.
I mean, I don't disagree with you,
right.
but I'm just trying to get it.
Yeah, no, let's learn more. Let's do research.
You know,
That's what it's all about. Like I said, if there's something you don't agree with, come to me and we'll do our research and we'll see what we can find. I'm all open to that.
Because we didn't pick our collard greens until the first frost, because that's what you were taught that.
Right.
That would be until like October.
Right. Okay, now, has anyone heard of the blood type diet? You've heard of it, Sister Krista, right? You've heard of it, Letty? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about this, but before I do, I want to read a quote to you that's very powerful. We are told, now, you were talking about the tomato. Oh, here's another thing. Another fruit that is very allergenic to people is tomatoes. There are people who have they get instant rashes when they eat the tomatoes. And avocados is another one. But remember, in most cases, when they say they're allergic to these fruits and vegetables, if they're still eating the dairy and the fish and the meat and stuff, it's those. It's not these items. Okay. We are told not all can eat the same things. This is Ministry of Healing, page 319, paragraph 2. Now, I used to think somebody allergic to peanuts, that was weird. Like, something's wrong with that person. There's something they're not doing right, because no one should be allergic to anything that God has made. That's what I thought, but that's incorrect. When I read this quote, now I just want to make a comment. Spirit of prophecy will be used in these classes. Anything that is contrary to spirit of prophecy is not going to be accepted. If we have a problem, let's talk about it after the class. But while we're taping, we want to be respectful. Okay, is that clear for everyone? Okay. I used to think that peanuts, if you were allergic to anything God made, something was wrong with you. Until I learned this. And it says, not all can eat the same things. Foods that are palatable and wholesome to one person may be distasteful. Remember I was talking about my son with the peas and carrots and me with the lime and beets? May be distasteful and even harmful to another. Some cannot use milk, now we know we don't use it anymore, while others thrive on it. Some persons cannot digest peas and beans. Sister White could not digest beans. She had serious problems with beans. Others find them wholesome. For some, the coarser grain preparations are good food, while others cannot use them. She says coarser grain, so that doesn't mean all grain. The coarser grain. So we don't want to eliminate all grain from the diet, and the raw food diet is very known for eliminating grains. They don't believe in eating grains. We are told in fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains contain all the elements necessary to make good blood. Grains are necessary in the diet. But just because beans work good for me doesn't mean they're going to be good to you. Just because I can eat tomatoes doesn't mean you can eat tomatoes. Now, why is that? That's where I'm going to get into the blood type diet.
What page was that again?
Oh, this is page 319, paragraph 2. Now, Ministry of Healing, and Pathways to Health and Happiness, page 103. Pathways to Health and Happiness, page 103. Now let me explain to you why I say this. Now when I was training, and I'm still training, this subject had come up about the blood type diet. The answer, which I don't agree with, now you can learn 99% true and 1% error relating to health. Just because you learn the 1% error doesn't mean you throw out the 99% true. We are told to study those who are the best authors on these subjects and then follow that which we know to be true. Okay? So, the answer to me was given was this, when the person asked the question, what about the blood type diet?
Can you explain what that is?
I am in just a moment. I'm going to explain it in detail. The answer was, no, because God gave one diet to all the children of Israel. But let me ask you a question. And I thought, oh, okay, forget the blood type diet. So the lady who is a strict vegan, but she suffers from bloating and other stuff, she's the one who showed me this quote of Sister White, that not all food is good. It might be good for you, but not good for me. It can be harmful. She said, Sister, when I followed the blood type diet, my bloating went away. I was like, are you serious? She said, I've suffered with bloating for 30 years. I've been vegan for a long, long time. She said, she said, I follow everything. I don't mix fruits and vegetables. I don't drink with this. I spread 6 hours. She went into everything. I give my exercise, my sunshine. She followed all the laws of health. She said everybody's blood type is different. She had studied it. And I thought, you know what, that makes sense, because the children of Israel, would they have a similar blood type?
Yes.
Yes, they would, because they were related and of the same tribes, right?
But that doesn't make sense, because some people have O, some people have...
Right, right. When I get into detail of this, that's what I'm going to say. When I get into detail of this, now, I came from my mom. She's A, I'm A. My kids are A. We're the same family, we have similar blood type.
But not everybody is like that.
Right, no, I understand. And there's your exception to the rule. But I'm saying in most cases, you have that. So, her explanation to me was, when I came back to her with the answer, was most of the children of Israel, when God gave them the diet, they were all related. She said the people of Africa and Cuba, and let me just finish on everything. She said all these other countries, they're different. And now we have type A, we have type B, we have type O, we have type AB. Now, this is a universal donor, okay? But they cannot receive blood from anyone with their own blood type, okay? A can receive blood from O, and they can receive blood from A. AB can do both, all right? Now, they have what's called a food type diet, a blood type diet for these blood types. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Everyone that I've talked to who's vegan, now, they'll tell you for certain blood types, meat is good. And this is, now we know we don't eat meat, we don't eat dairy. I'm going to eliminate all that stuff. But when it comes to the fruits, the vegetables, the nuts, the grains, the seeds, and the herbs, I'm going to pay attention, because I was always had postnasal drip, always suffered from stuffy nose, didn't understand why. I don't drink dairy. When I started reading what blood type A eats, everything blood type A should not eat is everything I eat. So when I started eliminating those foods, I noticed the problems went away. And then when I would put them back in, the problem would come back. So Sister White says what could be injurious to me will be helpful to you. So to me, this diet made sense. And if this lady who has suffered for 30 years of bloating and other problems started eating the foods that they said she could eat and not eating the foods they said she couldn't eat, if it was working for her, and I talked to several people, they said it works. So, you know, read the best authors on the subject and follow what you know to be true. I leave they say for some blood types meat is great. I don't agree with that. Because of the disease in animals, we shouldn't eat any of it. But I put when you get this today or tomorrow, either this evening or first thing tomorrow morning, I'll email this to you. I have a blood type A website. I have blood type B website. I have blood A and B and O. Look at the foods on that list that it tells you what is best, what is okay, and what you should not eat at all. Look at the foods on that and see if you eat these and see if you notice. But what is the first thing when we're dealing with any disease? What is the first thing we should do before we start doing all this? Yeah, we need to make sure we're following the laws of health. So your postnasal drip could be because you're not getting sunshine. It could be because you're not getting enough exercise. Your blood is not being circulated. But when you're following everything strictly, and she tells us most people do not benefit from the health message because they do not follow it strictly. But if we are following it strictly and you have those cases and you still find you're having all these problems, then eliminate the honey and the wheat and the go in there. And if that's still not working, then try this. You get what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Wheat may be on the list of your, see if you know, if you're allergic to certain foods and you know you are, go look and see if that's on your blood type that you shouldn't eat. Is that making sense? Yes.
Which one is the universal, yeah.
None's universal recipient.
Oh,
O is universal donor.
Okay.
O can give to any of these.
Okay.
Yes. And my grandmother, what was called RH, no, there was only 7 in the world that had this. She had to wear a medical alert bracelet, and she had to go and give her own blood because nobody could give her blood. I think only 2 people in the U.S. had what she had, and then the others were in other parts of the world. RH no. It's called RH no. You have RH negative, you have RH positive. She was RH null, N-U-L-L. It was something that they had just barely heard of, and she used to have to wear a medical alert bracelet. Because I tell people sometimes, there's no such thing. I know for a fact because my grandmother had it. And I told her, Grandma, you're special. You have something that nobody else has.
So AB can only get AB or O?
AB can get from A, B, and O. Actually, AB is universal recipient. Yeah, it is a universal recipient. Because it can get from A, it can get from B, and it can get from O. So it is a universal. You're right. AB is a universal recipient. Okay, so is this making sense to you guys? Are you understanding a little bit about this blood type diet, what I was talking about? Is it making a little sense? Go look at the foods. See what foods it says you can. Ask yourself, do you have runny nose? Do you have, but then ask yourself, do I get enough sun? Do I get enough exercise? Am I drinking enough water? This is something you really do is like at the very end. But it's something to take in consideration. I'm not going to knock people who are saying this is working for them when they've tried everything under the sun and nothing worked. And then the moment they started applying this, so I think there is good science to it. There is good science. Okay, step number 3. So we went through step 1, we went through step 2. Now we're going to step 3. So step 1 is eliminating all the foods that we as plant eaters would not eat. Step 2 is eliminating foods that we as plant eaters would eat. Starting with what? What would be the first food? Honey. Now that may not be the case for every single person. Honey may not be the culprit, but that's the first one you would try. Okay, step 3. If you have done all of the above and you still have the problems, now we're going to get into the perfumes, the body sprays. Remember, because you can inhale it. It doesn't have to be ingested. Detergents, plug-ins. Do you know that they're saying that those plug-ins give off a scent that is neurologically damaging? And when you inhale it, it can actually kill some of